HarperCollins presents Starminster, The Month of Birthdays by Megan Hopkins, read by Stephanie Racine. Chapter 1. Astrid wanted to win. Her muscles were as tight as bowstrings, the ceiling overhead bright with gold. She stared determinedly up at the towering Wellington Monument, an elaborate sculpture topped with the Duke of Wellington and a noble steed named Copenhagen. The first to mount it would win. "On your marks!" called Mason. "Pent, I said on your marks! Get back behind the black tile!" Pent shuffled backwards, rolling her eyes. "Get set! Astrid, that's a false start! I barely twitched," Astrid said. "Both of you are born cheaters. You're lucky I'm not disqualifying you. Get your feet behind the black tile." Astrid looked up to where Mason hovered, 20 feet above the floor of St. Paul's Cathedral. "Is there a reason you have to referee the race from up there?" she shouted. "So I can spot cheating. Last warning." They both moved into dramatic sprinting postures, Pent bending over to touch the tiles, Astrid with one foot in mid-air. "On your marks! Get set! Go!" They ran at the Wellington Monument. Pent leapt up the steps to where the Duke's statue reclined. Astrid, meanwhile, was shinning up one of the pillars like a fireman's pole, pulling herself up inch by inch. Her muscles strained, but it felt good. It felt powerful. A brief image flashed in front of her eyes of the girl she'd been when she had left the rhubarb shed a few months ago. Paper white, with arms like sticks. Astrid rejoiced in her new strength as she heaved herself upwards, upwards. "And Astrid takes an early lead," Mason bellowed. "Pent's hit a dead end, despite an eager if over-familiar leap onto the Duke's sarcophagus. May he rest in peace." "Shut up, Mason!" Pent shouted from below. She was also pulling herself up one of the pillars now. Astrid reached for the statue just above her, grabbing on to a fold of its bronze robe. Once she had a secure grip on the statue's neck, she glanced down to check on Pent. Pent had disappeared around the other side of the monument, so Astrid couldn't see her. But then Mason announced, "And Pent's back in the race! Is Astrid's early success enough to carry her through to the finish line?" Emboldened by her lead, Astrid made the mistake of looking down again. The black and white tiles swam beneath her. She knew their hardness intimately. She could feel it in the bruises she had on both knees. "Pent's almost reached the pony!" Mason shouted, bringing Astrid's mind back to the race. Pent always seemed to win, always seemed to end the race cheering from Copenhagen's back, and Astrid wanted, just once, to beat her. She gathered all her courage, and in a risky move, leapt up from the statue's head towards the platform where the horse stood, hauling herself over the edge with her elbows. Pent was on the other side, reaching for Copenhagen's mane, but Astrid was just in front and launched herself at his tail. She was so close. She could taste victory already. Then she heard a furious shout from below. "Astrid Crossley! Penelope Hyatt! What do you think you're doing?" They froze. Pent and Astrid looked at one another. Pent's legs were dangling, and Astrid was halfway over the horse's rump. The new headmistress was marching down the nave towards them. She placed her hands on her hips and said, "Down! Immediately!" Astrid slid off Copenhagen. "Mason, you're not off the hook for this ridiculous behaviour, but you may assist Penelope." Mason swooped down, wrapped his arms around Pent's waist, and lowered her to the floor. Astrid bit her lip. She knew what was coming. "Astrid, fly down." Astrid looked up at the Triforium gallery, where several fledglings from her class were leaning over the railing, watching what was happening. Pent couldn't help herself. "Miss, come on, you know Astrid can't—" "Don't call me Miss, and don't you dare tell me what to do."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?